Hello and welcome to another Mix It Up tutorial. So today we're going to be making a drink menu where whenever chat types in the command !drink, it's going to pop a random drink image, text, as well as sound on the screen from a list of multiple drinks. So this can technically be anything that you want it to be. You can make it any kind of item that you want to be, but essentially what it is just it's going to have we're going to have a list of commands for individual drinks, and then we're going to have this we're going to basically use action groups to pick a random one every time chat issues that command, and that's going to pop on screen. So I'm going to show you how that works, and I'll show you how to set it up. So I'm going to type in !drink into my chat and show you exactly what that looks like.
Mistress Verse bought a Spirit Hound coffee. It warms their belly.
So that's basically how that works. And every time they type in the command, it's going to pick a random drink. It's going to pick a different one. So I'm going to show you how I set that up. And of course, like, you can use that for anything that you want. It doesn't have to be drinks. It's just I have a cafe theme for my stream. So this is why it's drinks for me. So what we're going to do is you're going to have to create a lot of commands, because you have to create commands for every single item that you want in this list of items to pick from. And then we're going to have to add them to the action group, and then we're going to have to create another command to trigger that action group. So let me show you what that looks like. So first thing we need to do is, you see here I have a drink menu. Everything in here is individual drinks that I created. So you have to create a individual command for each item that you want in this list of random items. And when you create a new command, this is what my setup looks like. You can put anything that you want in there, but I have, of course, the drink name, the chat trigger, which you still have to put in, but you don't really need to you don't really need to do anything specific with that. You just have it as just the name. And then you need to, I put it in a command group just to keep it well organized, because there's so many of them. I have 20 drinks, and so I just put them in a separate group just so that it doesn't get mixed up with all my other commands. Usage requirements, you don't need to do anything with this yet. If you want usage requirements, it's better to do these when you create the actual final command that triggers the action group. But you don't need to do this for every individual item, so we can skip this part. So with my command, I have an overlay image. You just go to image, use the default overlay endpoints, and then just go browse to wherever the file is located. Play around with the width, height, duration, animation, and position on screen. And then I also have an overlay text that goes just below that image that says username, bot, and Almond Tempest, which is the name of this drink. And all the other drinks have the same thing. They just have a different name on there. And you can play around with the font color, font type, size, all this fun stuff here. And the position, I have it positioned just below the image. And then I also have a chat message that shows up, which pretty much says the same thing that the text on screen says. I add the username, and then I like to add like a secondary line that's just kind of a descriptor. This one says it's sweet and crunchy. And then I also have the magic wand sound when that gets triggered, and then a text-to-speech to read out the chat message. So that's what all of my commands include. You can include whatever you want in yours, but that's what all my commands include. And you have to do that for every single item that you want to put into this list of random items that you're going to be selecting from. So you can see this is pretty much the exact same thing. It's just I changed the names of the drinks. It would be really great if Mix It Up would allow us to just like copy and paste like full commands, so we don't have to like enter every single new command line by line. Maybe one day they'll have that option, but for now you have to do that for every single one of them. Once you have created all of your items that you want to be included in this list, then you need to go to action groups, and you're going to create an action group. Just click on new action group. If you click on that, then you can start adding commands to that. So I already have mine, and when you start adding commands, it's very simple. You get run command, it's going to be a chat command, and then from here you can pick your drinks or whatever items that you created. They're all going to be listed alphabetically, and you can just like type in the first letter and it'll go to that letter. And you're just going to list every single drink. So this is my Cosmic Cocktail, and then I've got my Infinity Gin, and you can list them in whatever order you want to. But the most important thing is once you've listed all of those items, you want to make sure that run one randomly is toggled on. This is what's going to allow the command to pick a random one of these commands to run. So once you're done with that, hit save. Then we're going to come back to commands, and then I created a separate group for action groups because I'm going to be creating multiple of these types of like random lists things. I'm going to have a food menu, and then I'm going to have an animal companion menu. So I created a separate one to just organize that a bit better. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're going to come over here and you're going to create a command that is what chat is going to type in to trigger that action group and pick a random one of those drinks. So we'll do, I just call it drink, and then whatever you want them to type in. You don't need to include the exclamation point if this is toggled. And then here is where you'll want to actually put in the usage requirements if you want there to be specific usage requirements. And you do it here, that way you don't have to do it for every single item in that list. But here I have it set for all users. I have a 30-second cooldown, just a standard cooldown so that they can't spam just constantly. And then I also have a usage requirement because I have a custom currency called Cosmic Coins, and I wanted this to be a command specific to people using those Cosmic Coins. So this one has required amount, and 100 coins is what it costs to use this command. So you set that up. I didn't do anything else with any of this other stuff, but you can if you want to. And then here the command is simple, run command. Command type is action group, and the command is the drink menu action group. And that's it. Hit save. And now when chat types in exclamation point drink,
Mistress first bought a fairy boba. Don't choke on the bubbles.
A random drink pops on screen. And that's how you do this. So I hope you found this tutorial enjoyable, and hopefully you get to like play around with this and make your own random things, random drinks, random items, whatever you want to make. Just play around with it, and I hope you have fun. Thank you so much for watching.